It's based on a long chassis, Austin 7, I think 1932. It's not mine. It was built last year by Pete Graham, and he's unable to campaign it this year. And as my own MG, which I usually would campaign, was out of action, he kindly offered to lend it to me for this season. But I'm acting as a sort of development driver for him.
Excellent. And what sort of times is it putting on this track?
Best 69.70 seconds.
That's excellent.
Best one was the last. I haven't got below last session. June. In June, I think I did about 69.5. Aiming to get below that this afternoon.
Absolutely excellent. Thank you very much. Can I take a look round it?
By all means. Do you want to see anything?
Yes, if there's any features about it you want to point out.
Attention Barrack, could all drivers please come to the sign-on hut? We have a slight change on one of the corners. I need all drivers to be updated. Thank you.
You'll notice how heavily drilled the whole thing is.
Yes.
For lightness. I mean, I think that's taking it a bit far.
I would say so.
The bonnet, if you want to look under it.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I better go and hear what the briefing is. I'll leave you to it, okay?
Thank you very much.
Switch that
indeed.
off. No, I didn't switch it off. No.
So, while you're filing, could you tell me about your Jeffreys?
You probably won't hear for the racket. The Jeffrey is a 1970 car that was built for 750 motor racing. It was designed by a guy called George Jeffrey.
And was it competitive of the period?
He made quite a few of them, yes. He started off with his Mark 1 and then progressed to the Mark 3B model. Don't know what happened to the Mark 2s and various others. And then he went on to build Mark J4 version, which was a road going, very similar to that, just slightly bigger than the Ford engine. And then he did a JS5, which again was a road version.
Could you tell me roughly speaking what sort of time you get around here?
So far about 60 seconds.
That's very good.
It should be quicker if I can stop my prop shaft rubbing its way out of the tunnel.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, it's open heart surgery now.
Yeah.
You lost the pin as well? Yeah.
You didn't tell me it had a Reliant engine.
Look at this one.
Many years ago, about 20 years ago, we were doing hill climb with MGJ2, and we spoke to Peter Graham, and I said I always fancied the idea of a Cooper MG because it was very nimble, very neat, nice car, and I wanted to step up a bit. So he told me that this one, he said, I know whether this one, and I was quite taken aback in Scotland because they are very rare. They only made about 12 roughly. Nobody really knows how many were made. So, cutting a long story short, the chassis was in Newton Stewart. I was a school teacher who owned it. He went to teacher training with Peter Graham, and after 6 months, a lot of persuasion, I bought the chassis. It was a Cooper MG chassis with a 1950 logbook. Got it home, and a friend of mine, he said, I'm trying to research this car for you, and he discovered it was the works prototype. So going back a bit, 1949, the winter of 1949-50, John Cooper was sitting around the coke stove with some of his chums and decided to build a sports car. So they took a chassis destined for, I rebuilt it, went to see John Cooper, who was more than helpful. He's a lovely man, John, and got pictures of the car original when he had it new. He actually courted his future wife in this car. I've just found that out recently from his son Michael. And it had, Stirling Moss raced this car in 1950 at Goodwood. Wow. Only briefly. Ken Wharton then, John would tend to lend his cars to people, and he loaned it to Ken Wharton. Hill climbed it, did a 1,000-mile Dale Express road rally in this car, believe it or not. A bit cramped, but there you are. No roll bar, of course. Anyway, I bought the chassis, found the body hanging up in the barn outside Carlisle, and it's sandblasted. My son welded it back on the chassis. It went to Frim in Somerset to be reskinned. This chap had worked for Wakefield's and Byfleet, very famous bodybuilders, and as you can see, he made a beautiful job of it.
If I take some pictures of it.
It's a beautiful little car, and the handling is outstanding in the wet.
Well, the car was first built in 1964 by Jack Fisher in Edinburgh. And at that time it was a GT, it had a roof. But it was converted, it was very successful as a GT, but it was limited in top speed because they felt the windscreen slowed it down. So they fitted Groper Spider bodywork in 1970, and the car then became hugely successful at Ingliston, Croft, Knockhill, and it was down at Wilton Park and Crystal Palace. It's been around.
What sort of engine has it got?
It's got a mini engine. Originally, if you swing the camera around, originally it had a 1071 8-port Arden Mini Cooper S engine, but now it's running a 1380 8-port engine. So it's 143 brake horsepower.
What sort of time do you get around?
Round here slow, because this is only the first time I've driven it, and so I'm getting the hang of driving it. It's different to anything I've driven before. So I'm used to cars with no power, and all of a sudden I've got a really light car with lots of power.
Excellent.
So the car was, it still holds the 1100cc record at Ingliston. It held it for about 8 years. And then
So it's really quite a historic car.
it is a historic car.
Do you mind if I take some pictures and walk around it?
Exactly. You only made 2 junior miles. You know that?
That's the word, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also a story. A friend Arthur Mullett once said, I think I've got found a Mark 4 in Yorkshire. Is that possible? I've only made 4 of them and I know where they all.
The Mark V SR Terrapin, built by Alan Staniforth. It was commissioned for Chris Kramer for the British Showtime Championship back in 1970. So it's basically running in configuration it was. Different engines over the years, but the main car is.
So it's basically got a mini. It's got a mini engine.
So it's a full mini engine gearbox mounted on the back of the car, and then fully engineered for the purpose built for Hilltime 970.
And what sort of time do you get around this track?
Oh, when it's running, low 50s. Yeah.
I'll just take some pictures going around the car. If there's anything you want to point out while I'm going around, then please do.
It's still running on the drum brakes as it was built in 1970, and it's all mini brakes and mini uprights and the hubs.
So it's really quite a historic car.
Yes.